Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. This week we are making Farmhouse Cheddar. Now this is going to be the first of actual hard cheese making I have done, as in like hard as in the cheese is hard, not a difficult recipe. As in the world of cheese making, it gets a lot harder than just simple old cheddar. And this is one of the simplest cheddar recipes that I have actually found. Now, what we want to do is we want to bring up 2 gallons or 16 pints or approximately 8 liters of milk up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly something. Trying to work out what 90F is. So I'm following a book in Fahrenheit and I'm English and it hurts my brain. And I'm using my phone to record, so I can't even check. I'll put it on screen. That'll do. Yeah, you want to use whole full-fat milk. So, if you're in the UK, the blue stuff. And yeah, you want to bring that up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using a sous vide in a big old tub with my milk just about buoyant in the tub. And then you want to bring that up before you want to go any further than that. Right, so now we are up to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or I've worked out how this thing works. About 33 degrees Fahrenheit. See? Simples. Right, so to this, I've also found out that I can use the little steam vent hole to stick the thermometer through. So to that we want to add, now this part is completely optional, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have some calcium chloride, which just adds a little bit more calcium into the actual milk itself, which should already have some calcium in it anyway. I just want to dilute that in to around 1/4 cup of water. Now that was boiled water, so it's got no chlorine in it or anything. Now, optionally as well, you can add in some annato, which is going to give it that cheesy colour. And then, of course, you want to add in actual culture. Now, I believe I add the annato in here. There's around 12 drops I want to add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, I believe I was actually supposed to dilute that in the water as well, but if we just give that a little mixy mix, get a nice creamy colour to the milk. So that doesn't actually add anything but colour. And then to that, we want to add in our culture. Now this is MA4001, and you want to add in, I believe it's a dash, which is a 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I've got these convenient little things. There you go. So this is freeze-dried cheese culture. Now after I've added this in, I'm gonna give it a good stir, and I'm also just going to quickly pack this up into a little box, and I'm going to store that in the freezer because it's freeze-dried. You don't want any moisture or anything getting into that, and you want to keep it nice and chilled. So into the freezer with you, and once we have done that, we want to give this a good mix. Get that culture mixed in nicely. Right, and we want to let that go for about 45 minutes to let the culture seep into all of the milk. So we are going to get the probe back in that hole. Nice convenient probe hole. Right, it has been 45 minutes-ish. A little bit over, I think, but that's fine. Since we have this wonderful slightly yellow. Oh, you see a couple of hairs floating in the top there. It's a good thing about using a fine mesh thing. Just in case anything gets through. You skim them out. Right, so we want to use this liquid rennet. Now it calls for half a teaspoon. Now I'm using 2.5 mils of liquid rennet. Now once again, diluting it in a quarter cup. Give that a little mix. Right, I think that is about a minute. Right, now I know the temperature is at temperature, so I don't need to add the thermometer back in. And we want to leave this for another 45 minutes until the curds give us a nice clean break. So, once again, I will see you in 45 minutes. It's been about 45 minutes, so now we need to check for a clean break. You can stick a finger in, lift up. Okay, I'll say that's about a clean break actually. Now I have scrap the crap. Word's hard. Oh, the chunks of whey going in. Oh, chunks of cheese going in the circulator. Oh dear. Yeah, don't rinse your finger in that. Right, I'm going to let that heal for about another 5 minutes or so, and then come back and slice. Alright, so after about 5 minutes, just making sure I'm still recording, we still have some breaks. That's fair enough, that's fine. It's all good. It's all going to get mushed up in a bit anyway. Right, so we want to cut the curds into 1/2 inch cubes. Now that's going to be fun. Yeah, I've absolutely butchered a load of those. Right, so place it apart. Slowly heat the curds to 100 Fahrenheit, increasing the temperature by no more than 2 degrees every 5 minutes. Get the curds away from the side of the pot. Give them a bit of a mix. Oh, that is very curdy, isn't it? Well, duh, it's curds. Of course, it's going to be very curdy. I feel like I should get. You're gonna sink if I put you on there. I feel like I should get the actual probe back in there again. Right here. I got my hair rubbing on the microphone, I've just noticed. So yeah, I guess I will come back when this is up to 100°C and I keep stirring it. Hey guys, Editing Ammy here. Now, I forgot to turn on my microphone before actually starting to do this recording, but now this is up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, we want to drain the whey from the curds. Now you can optionally reserve your whey. If you do so, you can use it for many different things, for sauce making, pasta boiling, or anything, or you can bring it up to around about 90 degrees Celsius, and then strain it through once again, and you will magically have gained some extra cheese. Now this is a whey ricotta, which is what I'm going to be making anyway, but you get around 1.5 cups to 2 cups from the quantity of milk I used in this video. But anyway, back to Ammy once he's realised his microphone was turned off. Am I back? Who knows? Right, so there might be some technical difficulties there. A reminder to myself, I need to actually recharge these at some point. I actually think I used them enough to actually run out of battery, or I just called it weird and it turned itself off. And let it drain for an hour. Right, so that's going to be done at like 1:15 in the morning, by the way. Right, so it has been around an hour, I believe. Make sure the microphone's actually on. We have this well-hung cheese. Shouldn't have been too drafty where it was. But we still see like a nice big pool of what are these? Oh, that's just a hole. I'm just being dumb. Right, so yeah, that's actually right. So we want to break this up into like apparently something like walnut-sized pieces. So this is essentially just cheese. I know, that sounds like really stupid in a cheese making video. I just have a chunk of cheese in my hand. And then my hand's a bit spray with some vinegar. Little pat down. And then we've got the salt. So I just cover the container, blah blah blah. Place the drain curds into a bowl, break them gently with your fingers into walnut-sized pieces, mix it in the salt. So it just says mix in the salt. You don't have to like massage it in or anything. Now to me these are pretty big walnut chunkies. So a couple of them I'm just going to break. I'm going to have a little taste of the whey. Not the whey, curds. Not bad, not bad. Now I did have to resist like every urge in my body to not mix in some smoky sea salt, because that is a path I'm going down at the moment, and I do absolutely love me a bit of smoky sea salt. Right, I think that is probably about as well as they're going to get mixed in. So I just have that like that. Takes up a lot less of the mold. This doesn't feel like it's gonna all go in. This really doesn't feel like it's a big enough mold. So, editing Ammy back once again. Now, TLDR, because I was faffing around with this and basically trying to get all of the curds to fit into this mould that I thought was way too small, but it turns out I just had slightly more curds than was expected. So you want to press this at 10 pounds for 10 minutes, then flip it, redress it, then press it for 20 pounds at 10 minutes, And then you want to, once again, remove it from the mould, redress it, flip it over, and then press it at 50 pounds, which is around 22 kilos or so, roughly, I think, which is basically the max that my press goes to. And then you want to leave that for 12 hours, which should knit all the curds together and leave you with a solid lump of cheese. Alrighty, it has been a whopping 12 hours. I've got some sleep, flipped the cheese, and now for the grand reveal. Kind of. Any minute now. Should have done this before hitting the record button. That would have been the smart idea. Hoping I can just squidge that out. Yes! Crash bang wallop. There we go. Now the annato has done a crazy good job getting some colour on that cheese. You see how smooth, nice the bottom is compared to the top. Oh, that's the problem. I put this in cheesecloth. Alrighty, so this is, I guess, technically what's going to be the final product. Right, it is now the morning time. We have the cheese that has been draining overnight. We've got about another 5 hours left on this. I'm going to throw that in the washing machine. Get a new one out. I have a lot of tidying up to do after this today. So yeah, periodically just been tightening this back up. It's actually fitted in. Compared to yesterday where I didn't think it was actually going to all fit in. Actually managed to get it all in, but it is quite a tall cheese, and my plan for preserving it is vac packing, so that could be a little bit of an adventure to try and vac pack this. Like a sous vide bag. Alright, can I actually just slide this through? Oh, I can. Nice. I don't actually have to take that all apart. Oh, take the follower off. I'm going to very quickly vinegar up my hands. Oh, look at that. Right, that is... It's a nice top on that. I'm going to flip this one last time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, look at that. Right, so place this middle of the cheesecloth. Now, this was the top. So I'm kind of saddened by the fact that it's got cheesecloth lines all over it, but at the same time the cheesecloth is helping to keep it moist. Listening to it whistle as it goes back down into this. Then we got to dry this out. Now I do have, as I said yesterday, a dehumidifier in here, which I might move into a different room for the drying process. This needs to air dry, but I don't really want to assist in the air drying process of this cheese, because if the surface of your cheese starts to crack, that's kind of where you start to get problems. But we are going to be wanting to dry the outside of the cheese for, I say, up to 4 days, but I think because there is a dehumidifier in the house, it's not going to take as long. I might move the dehumidifier into the hallway or a different part of the kitchen. I mean, it shouldn't take too much, but I know when I've got bread and crumpets and things, they do dry out quite quickly. Right, that is about the fourth. Right, so that is definitely lopsided. I need to get like a mini... Yeah, what's it got? Spirit level. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit lopsided, but it was quite lopsided yesterday. For a portion anyway. So we're going to put that back up there again. And then, yeah, come back in about 5 hours. So, yeah. What'll that be? Around about 3 o'clock-ish, I think. Oh, who said cheese making was a fast process? So yeah, a little bit taller than I expected, but that is all good. See if I can get these cheapo food covers to go over the top. Because for some reason, especially last night, there was a lot of wasps in the kitchen. There we go, perfect. Right, and then that needs to just dry at, or air dry at room temperature. So a nice rind has developed, surface is quite dry. This can take 2 to 4 days. Now the outside of it is already quite dry. I'm giving it a quick wipe over. But yeah, just got to turn this a couple of times a day, and then it's ready to vac-seal. And we are on the final chapter of this particular cheese. Right, so you can wax it, you can vac-seal it, you can leave it as it is. Now I'm going for the vac-seal just because I want to be 100% safe for this. Just make sure nothing can get to it while it's aging. This cheese needs, I believe it was minimum 1 month to age. So we got a nice rind on it. You can see how dark the cheese got. A little bit lighter on top and on bottom. But that's just the way it is because it's been resting. And give the bottom a quick wipe. Gonna do one last little vinegar rub down just to make sure the outside of the cheese is all good. It's like at this point I'm just addicted to inhaling vinegar. Yeah, especially on like this corner here, you can see how much that rind has hardened up. Now, because this is quite a small cheese, I don't really want to let it go for too much longer and lose too much more of the cheese. So, I've had to get the wide vac bags because I think I'm going to have to dry it that way or seal it that way. Now, I don't know how much exactly of this I'm going to do, and I did the smart thing of sealing this end. I've done it with a double seal. But yeah, I probably should have put the cheese in the bag before working out how much I needed to vac seal. But hey, we don't do smart things here. It's like this bag looks huge, but once you open it up, it's going to be... Yeah, man. Okay, that was more than enough. Now, can I put it in that way? Maybe. Try to work out which way is going to be the best to... See, my thoughts would be that way. Right, so that is double sealed both ends. So yeah, that is theoretically our final cheese. Now, like, there's so much wasted plastic here. Like, I've got smaller bags, but they would have only just like not fitted. Like, it would have had to have been like an extra centimeter wide, like a 21 centimeter bag. So yeah, it feels kind of rough wasting this much plastic, but We're learning. We're learning. See, I could have saved an inch or two off the top there. Right, so lastly, now I should have permanent markers around, but I don't. And then we want to, at the earliest, try this on the 11th of October, I do believe. Let me consult the book. We are doing, yes, the farmhouse. Age for at least 1 month. So there we are. So the 11th of October is when this cheese should be set for tasting. So, I will see you for this particular cheese then. And, as always, if you like what you saw, let me know down below with a like and a comment. If you're indeed new here, feel free to subscribe for free weekly cooking content, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.